Welcome back to another video. We're back at this infamous spot. This is the only place with a light in this entire field, so that's why I come here. But yeah, my hair is looking crazy. When I got back from work, I went straight to the gym. I didn't shower, and I just got back from like a light jog, just so I could like cleanse my mind and clear my mind, so I could, get my creative juices flowing and kind of like pick a direction of where I want to take this video. But I just feel like jogs, for me personally, are very beneficial just to clear my mind, just to come up with ideas, instead of just jumping into something. I want to say, like, you guys have motivated and inspired me so much. Like, it's weird because I'm doing that for you guys, or at least I'm trying to do that. But, like, I don't know, just receiving love and seeing, on my TikTok, like, getting 70 likes, 68 likes. To a lot of people, that's not a lot. It's, like, pretty consistent. And just to get some comments, to get some favorites that are actually, like, meaningful. It's like a person saying, like, hey, you actually helped me. It's not like no foo-foo ass BS comment where it's like, hey, funny video, I like that, like, that's awesome. It's like, no, it's a comment that's actually meaningful, and it motivates me to keep showing up, because when I keep showing up, I always go to that next level mentally, to where I want to do more, to where I'm hungrier for life, and I want to inspire, and I want to motivate, and I want to entertain even more. So it's like, when I keep showing up, and it's not only that, like, I talk a big game on the internet, and for me to not actually do that behind the scenes, it's just not going to translate well. Because if I'm, partying, or if I'm not showing up to the gym and giving 110%, and I'm coming on camera like, this is what you got to do, this, that, and the third, and I'm not actually living that, it's just not going to translate well. It's not going to be coming from a place that's true. And it's like, the more I keep pushing and the more energy I give into my craft, whether it be working out or videos, it's like the more other people will benefit from that. And it just inspires me. But yeah, today I just wanted to talk about why you need to keep showing up. A lot of people just don't understand, like, the process you have to go through. Like, we're all the same at the end of the day. It's just some people put in a little more sacrifice. If you see someone who's more successful than you at the end of the day, you may be like, oh, they're more intelligent, probably just a little more dedicated, whatever it may be. Like, if you're in the corporate world and you're looking at someone who's way more successful than you and you're trying to compare yourself to them, you got to realize that we're all on this earth and we all have our own separate purpose. Like, some people's purpose is to be like a corporate entity that just takes over and they're dominating in that field. But, like, personally for me, I just don't have that spark inside of me to where I even want to do that. And it's like, if I force that, it's like I know I'm going in the wrong direction. It's just, there's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of friction. It's harder for me to be in that place or to go to that place where that person went, because deep down, I don't want that. And that's why comparison is just a thief of joy. Because you're just comparing yourself to someone who is more disciplined or who sacrificed more than you, and that's all it is. Like, if you look at if some person comes up to me and they just started in the gym and that's their day one, and they see me just going crazy and lifting all these weights and going absolutely insane, and they compare themselves to me, they're going to be discouraged and they're going to be demotivated, and it's going to zap their energy. It's going to take that momentum out of them. It literally does nothing for the person. And the only difference is I just kept showing up. The only difference is when my mind did not want to go to the gym, when I felt like I wanted to back out and go home, when I was fucking struggling and closing my eyes in the gym, but I just kept showing up. Like, that's the only difference. It's just like a mental thing of, no matter how bad it gets, I'm just going to keep showing up. And it's not like you have to go 110% each and every single day, but you just got to show up each and every single day. But there's going to be so many discouraging thoughts and so many thoughts that are going to take you off track and try to fuck you up and drag you back to where you went. But you just got to trust the process. You got to keep showing up, and you got to realize that every time you hit a roadblock, every time you hit a failure, you're learning. Like, you need multiple failures to become successful in this life. That is literally the only way. Because when you gain success or you gain something in this world, you're going to need an unbreakable spirit. Because just look at society. Look how everybody's mindsets are. Look how everybody thinks. They're judgmental. They never want to see anybody doing better than them. They're so quick to put other people down. The world is filled with hate. The world is filled with a lot of evil. So if you're chasing success and you want to become great, you're going to need an unbreakable spirit, because you're going to turn into a flashy object. You're going to turn into a sore thumb. You're going to turn into something that is glistening in the dark, and you're going to attract a lot of people who will try to stop you. And you will never gain that mindset from having a cozy, fucking comfortable ride. You need to be kicked in the face. You need to fail. You need to learn. You need to overcome. You need to grow. That's the only way. And the only way you'll fail is if you quit showing up. If you give up and you back out, that's the only way you're going to fail. You have to keep moving forward. Because each time you fail, you are picking up a new lesson. You are sharpening your blade. You're like, oh, I just learned from that. And the next time that happens, it's not going to affect you. And you're just going to grow stronger each and every single time. And when you overcome that, it's confidence for your spirit. It's momentum in your life. And that's how you set yourself free from this matrix. You just keep showing up. The moment you back out, or the moment you don't show up to the gym for one day, like, it could literally just be all over. Like, momentum can flip on a dime. It's an evil mistress. It's not fair. And I noticed that in my life, like, the further down the path you go, if you step back and you take one day off, like, you'll just feel like everything's done. Everything's gone. Which is crazy to think, but like the further down the path you go, it's like if you take a step back, you'll jump back into it and you're like, damn. It just feels like I restarted. And I gotta fucking slowly build that momentum back up again. Just like if you take a day off from the gym today, the next day you're gonna be like, damn, well, I did it yesterday, so I might as well do that again today. And even if you show up the next day, your intensity isn't going to be at an all-time high. You're not going to have that hunger. You're not going to have that feel. Because yesterday, what were you doing? Your body is used to relaxing. Your body is used to kicking its feet up. Your body is used to just, oh, we're taking the day off. And now you're coming into that workout with the same mindset, but you have to fight against that. So it makes it even harder. So you're better off to just keep showing up. And yeah, if you get kicked in the face, if you get knocked down, that's fine. The next time someone comes with a kick to the face, that foot's going, I seen where that's coming. But the next time when someone tries to kick you in the face, you're going to be like, damn, I know the angle you're coming with that kick. I can actually dodge it now and predict the shot. And you're out of the way. And it doesn't affect you. Because, man, I would not be in this position or have this mentality if I wasn't thrown into some fucked up situations. Like, my whole life, people fucking doubted me. Every time I would come up with ideas or just, talk extremely big, or I'm like, I want to do this with my life, they'll be like, you're fucking dumb. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, you're crazy, you're insane. And I just always felt like an outcast. Like, compared to society, or comparing myself to society, I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, I really don't fit in, but like, what the fuck? So I'm just put on this earth and I'm just not gonna fit in? But that's not the case. I just didn't put the work or believe in myself to dedicate myself to go to the direction that I needed to go. And that's where I fucked myself up, because I had these big ideas, I had these big thoughts in an environment where everybody was complacent and stagnant, but I wasn't putting in the work. So I was just staying in this place with all these people who were stagnant and complacent, and I just always felt drained. And they would always talk shit to me. They'd always say I'm crazy. They'd always say, why the fuck are you thinking like that? Like, it's never gonna happen. And I would just always feel like fucked up. And it's not only that, like, when I would try to rise out of that situation, or I try to grow out of that situation and transcend out of that environment, they'll be like pulling my fucking feet down, shooting down every idea I had. Every time I had momentum or I was doing something good, they'll drag me back down. And then I'll get on a roll. I'd start feeling good. Start going to the gym consistently, feeling myself. And then boom, some hater or someone in my environment would kick me in the fucking face and it would knock me down. And I'm like, damn. But every time you're told no, every single time you're told no. But it just depends on your mindset. Like, if you keep showing up, eventually you're going to be like, fuck y'all. You can do whatever the fuck you want, because I faced literally everything, every piece of adversity you guys threw at me. I survived. And not only did I survive, I picked up the pieces and I grew into a new person. And now I'm fucking invincible. And now I'm coming for you. Now I'm coming for you. Fuck you. You said I couldn't do this. Now look at me. I've transformed. I turned into a beast. And you're going to wish you didn't say those fucking things, because look at me now, bitch. And that's what you got to do. You just got to keep showing up. Like, yeah. Bro, you're going to go through so much shit. Like what I was saying, when you're paralleled with these losers, like when you want to do more with your life and you want to be great, don't worry. Eventually it's going to come around and you're going to figure it out. Like eventually you're just going to chase that fucking instinct and you're going to become great. You're going to, like that. ideology or that fucking soul belief or that soul seed is in you for a reason. It's gonna come to life eventually. You just need to get kicked around. You just need to get told it's not gonna happen. You just need to be tossed around until you get pissed off and you go to the place where you want to prove everyone wrong. And then you're in that place where you want to prove everyone wrong, and they kick you down again. And then you rise back up, and they kick you down again. And you rise back up, and they kick you down again. But this time, you're stronger, but you get kicked down, you fall again. But you don't give up. You keep going until you're fucking invincible, and no one can stop you. And that's what you need. That's the mindset you need to become successful. And that's what this life is. It's honestly just all relies on your mind and how much you can take. Like, the further you go and the more levels you advance, the more things will try to stop you and take you out. And that's like the game of life. It just all depends on the mindset that you have. If you can keep going, you know what I mean? Like, you become successful. Now they're, writing articles. Like, just think about, like, Kanye West. He blew up as a rapper. Okay. You want to keep going? He kept going. They're writing articles about him, talking bad on his name. And it's just like, a whole bunch of bullshit's probably coming into his life. And it's like, if you can keep going and transcending, you'll be fine. Just keep showing up. And don't give up. And let that momentum build into something amazing. But yeah, failure is a necessity. Failure is something that you absolutely need in your life. It's mandatory for success. The only difference is with winners and losers is losers, when they fail, they live in that failure. When they face adversity and they don't overcome it, they're living in that adversity for the rest of their life. And that's their entire experience. Like, a lot of people, when they're miserable, when they're sad, when they're complaining, when they're being a victim, when they're being a bitch, when they're being a pussy. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's not fun. It's not great, but that's what happens when you fail to overcome adversity. Once you get your mind in that direction, the only place you can go is forward. It's just like a shark. The only way it can go is continuously forward. It can't stall. It can't stop. It can't go backwards, or it's going to die. Like, actually, you need that shark mentality after a while. Like, and that's why you need those depressing episodes, those times when you fell down, those times when those people talk shit. You need that dark pit and that fucking shadow behind you, because once you know how bad that place is, you will never want to go back there again. And the only way you're going to go back there is if you give up and you let yourself down. And the worse that place was for you, that could be a motivating factor to never give up. And that could be the feel you need. And not only that, just all the bullshit that people told you about you and what you can't do, and all the times they kicked you down, and all the times they talk shit. Like, all of that pain, all of that trauma, all the shit that they said, all the times you fucking let yourself down, or all the times you were in depressing episodes, or let your mom down, let your family down, let yourself down. That could be fuel for you one day to never give up. And that's why, and you're not going to get that from some comfortable experience. Definitely not. That's just not going to pop up out of the blue with some experience that's just all fucking sunshine and rainbows and peaches and cream. You're just not going to get that mindset. And it really just doesn't get any easier. Like, personally, my experience on this earth, it's just, I always felt like the odd one out. Like, people would always constantly talk shit. They'd be like, oh, this guy's weird. Like, society, they all think the same. They all got the sheep-like mentality. They're all grouped together. They all have the same ideologies, the same belief. They all believe, work hard. All there is to this life is just working. There's nothing more than that. There's nothing less than that. Those ideas, those dreams, that big vision you have, it doesn't exist. Why do you have belief? Like, get that out of you. Let's just be a drone. Let's just all talk the same, walk the same, keep our heads down, have conversations we don't really like. And if you try something else that's, more than just working a shitty job that we don't like, we're going to talk shit. We're going to judge you. We don't support greatness. We don't support anything like that. We just support mediocrity. So me, transcending and trying to do more with my life, it's uncomfortable being surrounded in the environment that I'm surrounded by. I always just felt like an oddball out. I always just felt weird. But now I feel blessed that I don't have the same mindset as everybody else. Like, I just feel like God's using me for a purpose, and I feel different, man. Like, when I'm in the gym, I'm out training everybody. I'm just looking like a maniac. I'm just, sweating my balls off, and everybody else is on their phone, and they're just, they don't have that, what I have. And what I have is just, I don't know, just fucking like a deep-rooted ambition to do more. And I always had that, and I always thought big, and I always thought about the bigger picture. I mean, I believe in God, like, bro, like, I believe that we can do whatever we set our minds to. You just got to put in the work, and just pray to God for what you want. And a lot of people don't believe in that fairy tale BS. They don't believe in the bigger picture. So all they settle for is just the mediocre fucking 9 to 5. This is what life is. There's nothing more. And to be anything in this life, you need that self-belief that they try to snatch from you. They say it's ego. They say, oh, you're being egotistical. You're being narcissistic. You're being an asshole. You're full of yourself. And they'll try to take that away from you. And if, you're not aware of what's going on, you'll just be like, okay, well, I'm going to be more humble. I'm going to be more kind. And, they could take that away from you and you could become a drone. And I'm not saying, just be an egotistical asshole, but, like, believe in yourself and be a positive influence. Like, yeah, we all been through a lot of shit. We all been through a lot of trauma. We all been through a lot of fucking shit that fucks us up. But, like, the last thing you want to be is some bitter fucking prick. I had a lot of bitter fucking people in my life who told me that I wasn't shit, that I wasn't going to be shit. Every time I told them my dreams and my aspirations, they would shoot them down. And they would just make me feel how they felt. And that's really not serving the world. Like, that's not doing nothing for the world besides, hurting people and destroying lives. And that's what we need to get rid of in this world. So, like, no matter what you go through, no matter how bad it hurts, just transmute that energy into a positive. And that's truly when you're going to have enough fuel to get to where you want to go. Because that negative energy, it's poison. If you hold on to anger, if you hold on to envy, if you've been through the trauma and this shit's bugging you, and you're angry at that person, like, that's just slowly poisoning yourself. And it's just, taking you out as well. It's not serving you any purpose. So, like, if some hater comes up to you and talks shit, or somebody, doubts you, or somebody says you can't, just transmute that energy and try to use it as fuel. Like, I'm going to prove you wrong. Oh, yeah? You really want to doubt me? You really want to test my character? That's honestly the most important part. Because, like, man, focusing on any third party or what they're doing or what they're saying or what they're talking about or what they're trying to do against you is going to drain you. If you're constantly worried about that, like in the gym, I'll be working my ass off and I'll be getting weird looks from people who don't really work out because, they're just wondering like why they don't have that, and they may feel jealousy. And jealousy is just an indicator of what you want out of this life. If I'm jealous of someone, that means they have what I want to have, and all you got to do is just put in the work and become that person. You know what I mean? You got to sacrifice, you got to dedicate, and you got to be disciplined enough to go and get that. So you got to listen to those emotions. Like, if you're jealous of someone, it's because they have what you want. So that's an indicator. Hey, put in the work and go and chase that yourself as well, like that person's doing, or just follow their routine or follow what they're doing. Don't just sit in that negative ass feeling, because it's only going to poison you. But that's the biggest thing. Like, once you get to a certain level, you're going to have a lot of people doubting you, a lot of people talking shit, and you just got to learn to transmute that energy into a positive. Like, if you're working your ass off in the gym, and this is just one of the things I'm going to bring up because it's an experience I had multiple times. Like, you're working your ass off in the gym, and some guy who does not work out is just giving you some sour look, and he's just walking around you with this negative energy, looking at you in the mirror, giving you this negative just look, this stare of just like, oh, like, I don't like you. That can get into your head, and that can mess you up. And if you overthink, and if you think about it, and you dive into that energy, that could poison you, and that could knock you off path. But you just got to transmute that. Like, I'm on the right path. I'm actually doing something. Like, I'm actually irritating this guy because how far I've come. And it's just like a slap in the face to him because he's like, damn, I wish I was that guy. Like, you got to use everything as a positive, because when you're going through life with some positive energy, that's like when you're flowing through life. That is when your mind's crystal clear, and that is when you are a dangerous man. Like Bruce Lee said, be like water, my friend. And that's just like a positive state, because if you care what these people think, and if you let these people get to you, that will just destroy you mentally, and that will just crumble you eventually. And it's just going to take you out or steal your energy, and it's not doing you any benefit at all. And it's something you have to overcome. And you may fail multiple times, but it's just a mindset that can be achieved, and it's something you have to figure out. It's like a puzzle that you need to figure out so you can evolve. But that's the biggest thing. Like, once you start becoming that flashy object and actually doing what you say you want to do and becoming great and doing more with your life, you're going to bring in a lot of people that you don't really want in your life. You're going to bring in a lot of naysayers, or people who are going to say, you can't do this, you can't do that, because that's what society is. They don't have the self-belief. They don't see the bigger picture. They don't have the vision. They don't believe in no God. They don't believe in anything higher than themselves. So they're not going to see anything higher than themselves. They're going to see, what this world offers, what the system offers. They're not going to transcend to anything greater than that. And they're going to try to spread that plague or that mindset onto you any chance they can get. If they see you doing well or doing great, they'll try to come for you. And that's why you got to learn to harness this mindset, turn everything into a positive, and transmute that negative energy. Because this world, like 99% of it is negative. But just don't let it overtake you. And just don't, add to it. Always try to be a positive influence no matter what you go through. Because that's when you're actually helping people, and that's when you're actually making an impact and, pulling people to the light instead of just sucking them down into the darkness where people are trying to escape from. But, yeah, this has been a good talk. I got to cut it off right here because I have so many things I got to edit. I want to make some TikTok reels, Instagram reels, and I want to post this video, and the Wi-Fi is so slow, so it's going to take forever to upload this. But, yeah, man, just keep showing up. Keep praying to God for what you want, day in and day out. Like, just keep showing up, and trust me, your work will be rewarded. It's not going to go unnoticed. You just got to believe that that vision inside of you can really turn into something if you put your head down and work for it. And you just keep praying to God. It takes a lot of faith, and you got to be, somewhat insane to have this blind faith to chase something and believe in it. And that's why you got to escape the matrix, that mindset. Because they don't believe in anything that's bigger than themselves, and they don't believe in anything that they can't see. They don't believe in the non-physical or like a God or like, that the universe could help them or like, what I mean? Just the weird stuff that, the great people in this world use to actually become great. Because like a Jay-Z, when he was on the side of a street, believing that he could be the biggest rapper, like you're not going to have or go to that place if you have this average mentality. You got to break away from that shit because it's going to keep you mediocre and average. You're not going to go nowheres with that fucking mindset. Everybody who's ever done anything in this life has believed in something bigger than themselves, has had faith in something, in their vision, in God, and they worked towards it. No matter how crazy or insane the goal was, they worked towards it because they believed in it. You're not going to work towards something if you don't believe in it. And if you're a part of the society or part of the collective, you're not going to have belief. That's why you got to break away from the group, break away from society, and do your own thing. It's lonely, but it's worth it. Peace.